Can you do those for me?
Are we starting now?
All right, everyone, welcome. Inviting you to come up front, take a seat, please. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're back for the second demo session here at Builder Bunker in New York City. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. For those of you standing here, I'm going to invite you to come forward, please, and take a seat over here. So what we're trying to do, if it's your first time here, we're trying to create a circle of trust for founders and every last working day of the week. So normally it's every Friday, but today it's Thursday because tomorrow is July 4th. We're going to invite founders to come and demo their projects that are built on BNB Chain. And the idea is to have a circle of trust where we all share feedback with each other. You can ask questions and help each other out, whether from a user perspective, investor perspective, or other founder perspective. So it's to create this wonderful discussion all together. Tonight we'll have two demos. We first have Felix here from Orb Labs, and then we have Mikey from Stadium Science that are going to present. If you guys have any questions, feel free to keep them to yourself. And at the end of the demo, you can ask them, okay? And for the people in the back, I'm just going to invite you to come and sit over here, please. Yeah. Okay, so Felix, for you.
Hello.
You can speak loud, Felix, because people can't hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, cool. I'll try to make this a little bit more like interactive than usual.
Yeah.
Can you check me on time? Because I tend to go over sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, so my name is Felix. I'm with Orb Labs. Sophia also on our team. We are building what we call the orchestration layer for the on-chain economy. Does anybody want to guess what that could be?
AI agent.
AI agent. A good guess.
Orchestration.
Good guess. Not quite. Yeah, so essentially we're trying to solve most of the UX problems that we see in Web3 right now. So currently doing anything on chain is very hard. That's because of a number of reasons, one of which being terrible UX and complex UX. So you have to bridge tokens between different chains. You have tokens that look the same, for example, multiple versions of USDC. You have to manage your balances between your centralized exchange balance and then your wallet balance. You have to do token approvals for you to do a dApp. And a friend of ours at this company called Reon did a survey early last quarter, and they found that 20% of people say they don't do a lot of things on chain because the UX is just bad. So 1 in 5 people want to do more things, but they actually can't do a lot of these things on chain. And the second reason why doing things on chain is hard is that you have to manage gas tokens between different chains. So if you're on BNB chains, you have to have some BNB. If you're on Solana, you need to have SOL and so for all these different chains. And there's a lot of dApp interactions that are blocked because users don't have the native tokens for that particular chain. Does anybody want to guess the percentage of dApp interactions that are blocked because the users don't have native gas? Take a while. Sorry? 50%. 50%, close enough. The answer is actually 40%. So 40% of dApp interactions are blocked because the user doesn't have gas. So this was from a recent interview by the co-founder of MetaMask. I don't know if we can hear the audio here. Yeah, I don't think you can hear. But yeah, 40% of dApp interactions are blocked because the user doesn't have gas. And so which means if you've got 1,000 users coming to your app, and you can essentially just guess that 40% of those, 400 of those people are not going to be able to use the app because they don't have gas. And the third problem is that you have to manage risks actively. So there's a lot of hacks that happen, there's scams, there's all these things that happen. And one of the risks that people have normalized is this issue of dangling approval. So when you go on PancakeSwap or Uniswap, you do an approval for you to be able to use a protocol. And usually those approvals are infinite. So the protocol has access to your funds forever, essentially. And there's been a lot of hacks since 2020, and a lot of money has been lost. Does somebody want to guess how much money has been lost via this kind of approvals on chain since 2020? Yeah. Random guess? 50 million. Leave you higher. Yeah, the answer is around $500 million. So people are losing money from things that we can actually just stop because we know what's causing the issue. We can literally just stop. And you can check how much of your money is exposed to these kind of dangling approvals by going to revoke.cash and then putting your address, and you can see that. And the list goes on and on. We can spend like a whole day talk about why the conversions on your app is not as high as you'd want it to be. And we have created a solution. I think we see a lot of memes on Twitter saying like BNB solves this or Bitcoin solves this, but this time OB actually solves this. So we essentially make it easy for users to use the app by allowing them to use any token for gas. So you could use like your cake token to pay for gas on BNB, or could use your USDC to pay for gas to do any action. And we allow users to use any balances on any chain. Could be a centralized exchange balance, could be on any chain, it could be anywhere, for them to do an action on your app. So let's say a user has like balance on Solana, but they want to do something on your app on BNB. They can just use that balance right away without them having to bridge and see what's going on under the hood. And more importantly, the integration for this, it like takes a few hours at best. So 2 days ago, I tried to see how long it would take me to integrate our system into the Zerion wallet. It took me about an hour and a half to enable one-click transactions in the Zerion wallet, because their wallet is open source, so I could just go in there, fork it, and play around with it. And the system we build is not just for wallets. I think we talk a lot about wallets because that's where most of our interactions happen, but it could be used for like non-custodial wallets, custodial wallets, like think of your Fireblocks and stuff. It could be used for centralized exchange. I know Binance getting big on like Binance Web3 wallet, which is embedded within centralized exchange. You can actually start to use your centralized exchange and your non-centralized exchange. Like combine your Sol balance and combine your Ethereum balance and your centralized exchange balance to do an active pancake swap. So it could be like $1, and you can do a swap of like $2.5 on pancake swap using combination of all those balances. And the dApps as well can work with us to show like a unified experience on their app. Say user want to see like their balance across all these chains, or for them to be able to do like a gas abstraction, so the user can pay for gas using any token. And last one is for AI agents. So right now there's talk about AI agents doing payments on the blockchains and being able to interact with them. But the issue is they have to do like inventory management, like do they have gas on that particular chain? Do they have like the right approvals and all that stuff? But if they integrate with us, it'll be easy for them to just do anything on chain. And what it takes is just like a few lines of code. And instead of you hitting the blockchain directly, you hit our orchestration layer, and orchestration layer then talk to the blockchain under the hood. So we're going to do some demos. I plan to do 3 demos. I was playing around with a fork of like Rainbow Wallet. I tried to do some stuff with the BNB Web3 wallet, but I'm in the United States, so I can't use it. But hopefully soon I'll be able to get access to it. So the 3 demos I'm going to do is gas abstraction, and we demo one-click transactions. So one-click transactions is like where you don't have to approve an action. You just click once, and then the approval happens and the good. And last one is for you to be able to use unified balances on any dApp, regardless of where they are. Let's see if we can get it done. And the other thing is I'm using an EOA that's not 7702 enabled. So this works for any account system. Could be an EOA, could be a smart account, could be anything. Should be able to just plug OB and be able to use it. So gas abstraction. Let's see. Oops. Stop. No, I clicked the wrong button here. Keep sharing. So we're going to go to PancakeSwap here. And I have a Rainbow Wallet, which is not OB enabled. So you can see I've got my balances here. I have $5 on BNB Chain, but I don't have any assets on BNB Chain. So I have some optimism, whatever. And if I go here trying to, let's connect here, do this. I believe this one that's connected. Yeah, so if I go here trying to use this to try to do a swap of $1 to, let's say, some BNB, I come here and, it's saying connect wallet again. What happened? I have no idea what's going on with these wallet extensions. I can do this. They are fighting for real estate. Okay, fine. We have one enabled at a time. So I have got the native Rainbow wallet here. If I do a swap of $1 to, so you can see it shows me the $5 I have here. If I do a swap of $1, I try to do a swap. Why is Rainbow not showing? Okay, so here shows in Rainbow wallet. So it tells you that you need to have BSC BNB for you to do an action. So you actually stop, you can't do anything from this point because you actually don't have the gas. So if you're a user who try to use the double, but like, oh, I don't have the assets, so I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna ask my mom, my friend, or whoever to send me some BNB. Maybe tomorrow I'll come back. So cancel, come back. Let's try to do on Uniswap as well. Uniswap is even, I don't want to say worse, but it's even harder. So if I come here and do $1 to BNB, here, I'll connect first. So it actually just shows me that I have not enough BNB. I can't even click the button at all. So this is the state of the like what's happening right now in Web3, where users can't actually do an actions because they don't have enough gas, but I have more than enough money to do what I want here. Now let's see how the interactions will change if user is using our wallet, like the one that we forked. So Rainbow, I'm gonna disable it for. I have a lot of wallets just because I need to test, but bear with me. So if you come here, I'm gonna reload. If you do here, connect, and you connect our wallet here, it's a test wallet, so don't worry. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to BNB. Boom, 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 boom. So you see, okay, I'm not gonna, there's something that's showing here that I want to show later, but I want to say what it is. So you see, I do $1 here, and you see before it was showing you don't have enough BNB to swap. Now it's showing like you can actually preview. So I can just click here and just sign and swap, and boom, I can actually go in there to be able to swap. So the user then able to pick whatever gas token they want, USDC, RAP, ETH, whatever, to do the action. So as opposed to them having to ask their friends, their mom, their sister, or whoever for gas, they can just use whatever token they have to perform the action. Same thing as well to when you go back to PancakeSwap. Let's see if we can connect here. I'll connect, boom, boom. Yeah, so remember last time it showed something like you need to buy gas, blah, 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 within Rainbow. Same thing here. So you're able to then use the gas we have and then do the action, and the conversion turns from 60% to 100% because we know 40% of people can't do an action because they don't have gas. Now it's 100% because they have the funds, they can do whatever action they want. I can still be able to ask any questions. No questions, okay, good. So yeah, bad, Rainbow and most wallets, you can't do a transaction without net gas, good. And OB-enabled wallet, you can pay gas using USDC or anything you want. So you don't have to be stuck by a particular chain. The next demo is one-click transactions. I kind of demoed this indirectly because OB enabled a lot of these things out of the box sometimes. But for most wallets, you have to do an approve transaction first and then perform the action. So let's go to Rainbow on like, let me disable this extension again. Boom. And then I need to enable Rainbow. Right, so if I come back to Uniswap on BNB, reload. Uniswap on BNB, I can't even allow me to do an action. Okay, fine. How do I get the gas then? I don't want to mess up the other action. Okay, let's come here. Uniswap on BNB, I can do this. This is where it gets tricky because I'm trying to not mess up my next demo because of me messing up the preconditions. Okay, let me demo the next one then first, and then I can come back to this. So the last one is for you to be able to use your unified balances regardless of where they are. So if you go back to here, Uniswap on BNB using Rainbow Wallet, you see that it shows that I got $5 here to do a particular action. So if I put like, let's say $6, it shows that you don't have sufficient funds. Like, so you're getting insufficient USDC here because you don't have sufficient USDC. And then same thing here with PancakeSwap. If we go and we do, where's my injected wallet? Yeah, so if we go here and it's showing that I have got $5 yet in action. If we do $6, because I know I've got more money than that, it shows that I don't have enough funds, right? I need to buy crypto, blah, 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 blah. insufficient USDC to do the balance. So, but I know that I've got money in other chains. So if you go back to this list here, you see I've got like $4 on Optimism. I've got $5 on BNB Chain. So I should be able to use my $6. So if you use Obi instead, if you use Obi instead, you're able to use all your balance together. That's why I was saying I kind of previewed this part before. All right, let's reload this. Yeah, so this is like an Obi wallet. So you see it was showing 5, now it's showing 9.2. Because 9.2 is coming from your sum of your balances, which in this case, where's my USDC? 9.2 here. It's coming from all these chains. So BNB is 5 and Optimism is 4.2, and all the other chains don't have any balances. So I can come here, do some here and put like, I need to reload first because it's using the other. Go back here, BNB. Is showing 9 here already, so I can do like 7, and then I can switch to, I can do the swap I want to do here, and I'm able to do the swap just fine with gas abstraction and everything. And going back to the one-click transaction I said I will preview, so you see here it's saying sign and swap, because Obi has like one-click transactions enabled, as opposed to it will tell you without Obi, it will tell you approve first, approve and swap, and then you have to do an approve and then a swap. So yeah, so with Obi, then you're able to get all these three things: one-click transactions, gas abstraction, and you don't have to manage balances across different chains. And we'll be enabling centralized exchange balances very soon. I think we've started doing some early building internally with those. But for all EVM chains in Solana, it's enabled. Under the hood, we have our own intent protocol, essentially an intent protocol stack that we use with like its custom DSL. And some token wrapping protocols and stuff. We've got like, I can share some docs, those who are interested. But we use a set of intent protocols and custom like super nodes off chain to do most of this orchestration. And so what that allows us to do is essentially solve all the UX problem that everyone in crypto has been complaining about for years. And this is not just a demo, it's actually live right now. So we are working with some of your favorite wallets in space right now. They're in different stages of pipeline developing. One wallet is actually live. Go to nightly.app. You can download the version of this app called Nightly that has Obi enabled and allows you to use all your balance across the EVM, regardless of where they are. And yeah, it's coming very soon to your wallet, to your centralized exchange, to AI agent, and be able to use all your balance regardless where they are, gas abstraction, chain abstraction, and things will just work, and higher conversion for the apps. Yeah.
Your question? Hold on, I give you the mic.
Hello?
You need to be close to it. It's a streaming.
Oh, okay. So thanks a lot for the demo. It's very interesting. So my question is, it's a B2B business or B2C business? Who is your client?
Yeah, so our customers are anyone whose job it is to submit transactions on chain. So you could be a custodial wallet, let's say you are Fireblocks or somebody, or you could be a non-custodial wallet like BNB, Binance Web3 wallet, or it could be like a Rainbow. So anybody whose job it is to help people sign transactions and send them on chain, that will be our customer.
So it's B2B business.
B2B, yeah.
You need to, persuade this wallet to solution as a plugin so that people can choose this kind of version.
Yeah, so the thing is the wallets already see this. So you saw the video I shared about the co-founder of MetaMask. They already have the data that shows that a large percentage of their customers are not able to do transactions because of gas, because of complaints. So if, I don't know, like for me, I'm one of those people who sometimes get bored at night, go read app reviews. So if go and read app reviews for some of your favorite wallets, you'd be surprised on how many people, how often people are complaining about gas and like the usual stuff around like the UX not being bad. So they have all these problems. For the longest time, most of these wallets, they thought they couldn't solve this problem because most of Web3, like Ethereum and stuff, have treated this problem as a social and coordination problem. But we saw this problem as a tech problem, not a social and coordination problem. Because until now, we needed to have like 25 or however number of EIPs, everyone agree on what the solution is. It takes another 3 years for things to agree. But we're like, actually, this could be solved right now by just using this technical implementation that works, as opposed to having to wait like 10 years for things to standardize.
So can I assume that compared with MetaMask, you have some advantage on the technology? They cannot solve this problem. You can help them to solve this problem.
Yes, we can help them solve the problem. We don't want, because MetaMask already has customers, and we are not wallet people. I think if you ask me, when I wake up in the morning, what's the first thing I think about? I don't think about end user and building a wallet. I think about like, how do we make it faster? How do we make it cheaper? How do we make it like even much more interesting? Can we use the Bank of America balance to do stuff on BNB Chain, right? That's the kind of problem to think about. So our goal is to work with this like MetaMask, like BNB, Binance Web3 Wallet, Phantom, to give them this technology so that they improve the UX for their users. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Any other questions for Felix? No? Well, Felix, thank you so much. Unless anyone manifests themselves, I think we're going to move on to Mikey. Thank you. While Mike, like, grab a drip. We have the second demo that's about to start. Or blocks that already finished.
Yep.
There we go. Okay. So, how many people here are sleepers? How many people sleep? Got it. Okay. Now, do you want better sleep? If you want better sleep, we can help you out with that. And also, how many people would want to earn while you sleep? So, when you're sleeping, you actually have like valuable data that you can like contribute to science. It's not, you're sort of like, it's exhaust that's otherwise sort of going into the ether. So what we're trying to do is create a science data set around sleep so that sleep researchers can use that data and make interesting scientific insights, and then reward the people that contributed the data to the research project. So just to give you a little bit more about my background is I started this group called DSci NYC. So if you're in New York, which you are, we host them once a month or twice a month. And we've had a lot of really cool speakers here, from Brian Johnson to Martin Shkreli to prediction market people. If you're interested, here's a website for the next one on embryo genome editing, so editing the DNA of embryos. And you can sign up there. I hope the QR code works. What? Oh, it's blocked. Just go to dsci.nyc and you can have, there's an RSVP link there. Here's another one. We have to do them all the time. More about myself. I was a PhD student at Stanford. I was studying computer science. I wrote some books, and then I started DSci NYC. So the old way of doing science is you would sort of go to a university, and all the stuff would be trapped in an ivory tower, and it's controlled by just a couple people. But this isn't great, right? Because science is best when things are out in the open, and when things are just sort of trapped within a university, it creates a lot of mistrust. And you can see that at Stanford, the president even had to resign because he was falsifying data more or less. And a lot of funding is happening in different ways. So you see the government is basically removing a lot of funding from research and reducing people's taxes, hopefully. But this leads to an opportunity. Now, a lot more people have more money that they're not paying to the government, and they can allocate it in new ways to research projects that they're excited about. So this is sort of like why decentralized science is like so needed right now. And one of the most important things that can happen that I think is great for decentralized science is sleeping more. So if you remember one thing from this talk, it's maybe to go to bed a little bit earlier, or eat food a little bit less near your bedtime, or drink less alcohol. All of those things will help improve your sleep score. And it has so many benefits. So it has cognitive benefits, and it also has longevity benefits. And so it's still, for the longest time, people thought like no sleep, grind harder, and you're going to be a better entrepreneur. But like that really isn't the case, right? Like people that sleep well will live longer and have better thoughts throughout the day and be more happy and more productive. So I think we're starting to unfold that like sleep is like super important, and a lot of research has to be done on how to improve it. And there's no better way to do that than using decentralized science. And sleep is also a very big business. So sleep aids are like sleeping aids, like medicine. There's multi-billion-dollar. Sleep tech is huge, like Oura Rings, Whoop, Garmin. Mattresses and bedding, also very large. And so a lot of people care about it, and it's a big market that has to be understood. But the problem is a lot of these products aren't really backed by data. So we need like scientific data sets, or someone to say, okay, what works and what doesn't, or what works well for which type of people, and which doesn't work well for different types of people. So sleep is like, people are already just starting to do new types of what we're calling like distributed research. So The Sleep 8 would be one example. So during Sleep 8 is like a bed that like cools down during different cycles of your sleep cycle. And it can also measure your REM and your total sleep time. And what's really interesting about this is that like the CEO of Sleep 8 did some little research when for people who are in SF to see how long people slept the days leading up to the days when Sam Altman was fired, because people were very stressed, right? And he found that there was a 27% increase in people getting under 5 hours of sleep during the OpenAI drama. So this is like a really interesting finding. And it's also really interesting because it's a new way of doing research using just wearables and data and new types of public events. Another example would be like Whoop, where Whoop recently released a paper that got accepted into Nature. And they found that people who exercise near the time when they're going to bed actually like decrease their amount of sleep, because you have a higher resting heart rate, you have more adrenaline going through your system. It's harder for your body to relax. And so if you want to exercise, and you care about your sleep, it's probably better to do it in the morning when you can give your body more time to relax. But I think what's really interesting about some of this stuff is like, this is another example where you're using your wearable and distributed research to do these interesting scientific questions. But one of the things that's bad about this is the people always have to pay these companies. So with Sleep 8, you have to pay a monthly fee to like get access to like use that product, which is silly because you're donating all this useful data. Or with Whoop, you have to pay like a pretty substantial monthly fee. It's like $20 a month for like this to use their service. When really like you're contributing data to them and they're doing all this interesting research on it, the money should flow the other way. So that's what like Sleep to Earn is about. So we created this like research platform where people can upload and like sync their wearable data if you have it. So if you have a Whoop, Garmin, Apple Watch, anything, we sync to that. But also if you just have a normal phone and you don't have a device, we look at the screen on and off time to determine when people are sleeping and when they're waking. And we developed a new type of normalized sleep score that allows people to compete and compare scores across multiple different types of devices. And so we have this Sleep to Earn protocol where for each hour of sleep, you earn tokens, and you also earn ZZZ points. And we have different gamifications in it. So every morning you have to answer a question around like, what was your behavior like last night? When was the last meal you took? How much caffeine did you take in? Did you wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom? And we can have this paired together with the sleep scores. So this is really interesting because now you don't just have these sleep scores that are existing in the abstract, you're seeing how different behaviors impact those different sleep scores. We're also just recently added cognitive ability. So we have like reaction time games, working memory, and IQ tests to understand how sleep impacts those different types of things as well, which is very exciting. So each of these things is sort of packaged as a mini game. So it's like Mario Party, where each morning you wake up, you play some different games, but all of those games are paired to a sleep score at the end. So we're able to develop this like quite interesting data set around cognitive ability, behavior, sleep scores, and others as well. You can track your points. You can notice patterns using AI. So integrated it with MCP. So you can just like basically ask questions of this very large data set and find out kind of interesting answers. There's a sleep leaderboard, so you can compete with other people both in your region and globally and see what's working with them. So it's like, imagine like the Olympics. You're like, oh my gosh, this guy's like really running fast. What is he doing? In a similar way, you can do that for sleep and say like, wow, this person is like me, same age, same gender, maybe same genetics. And what are they doing that's working really well? And how can I copy them? And this allows for like collaborative learning and friendly competition that like raises the whole tide. We also are doing these new types of experiments. So we have different challenges, and we're going to be releasing a red light challenge, a red light glasses challenge soon, so people can enroll in different experiments around red light or eating earlier, taking magnesium. And you earn points for enrolling in the challenges, both as like a part of the study or part of the control. And this will allow us to do sort of more, right now the data is very observational, and so you have to infer things, and there's a lot of confounding factors. The real way to do this is using a randomized control trial, where we can be more like allow us to do more specific stuff. Okay, so the pilot study is like, this is very cool because it allows us to like figure out new types of things, and I just wanted to show that we are generating some really interesting data here. So based on people's sleep score, we found that people who eat earlier actually improve their sleep score by 1.2 points for each hour that they sleep ahead of time. So this is kind of cool. And this, what's cool about the whole project is like you have these small pilot studies. It's like in a traditional research university, you have to basically say like, I'm going to create all this grant funding, and then I'm going to do a pilot and do like a research study. But with our system, you can actually like make it much more chill, and you can just sort of get data and build up like from an n=1 up into a bigger n=10, n=20 based on sort of what's working, and allows people to build and see scientific results in a much faster and dynamic way than what you could otherwise do in like a university. So we're going to be adding prediction markets, and one of the things I'm very excited about is for different types of interventions. You could say like your Oura ring plus a prediction market could show you like how much time you have left. So you could say like, if I do this thing, say like if I take magnesium, am I going to live longer or shorter? And people can bet on that, and then you can sort of make money from that. If you're interested, this is a fully working thing. We have many users already, and it's growing. So if this sounds interesting to you, you can download the iOS, Android app. Also, if you're looking for a job, we're hiring for both designers, developers, business people as well. So thank you guys.
Do we have any questions?
Yes.
So, what are you guys? Are you like a research lab? Are you like a behavioral company? Like, what exactly are you?
Oh, research lab. What was the other option?
Like a behavioral study, behavioral company?
Yeah, I think we're a hub for data, for where people with data can find people that want data, and like it's like a sort of Airbnb for scientific data. And so we want to generate lots of inputs around sleep, cognitive ability, genetics, everything like that, and then allow researchers to get access to that data and pay for it, and then for a portion of that money to go back to the people that contributed the data. So it's sort of like a live biobank sort of idea, but with like very active, a lot of velocity in the data set.
And then follow-up is, what are like the privacy issues around the data itself? Is the data anonymous, or can someone just grab the data and see that I have some heart condition, whatever, like on infer certain information about me from the data itself?
Yeah, I mean, this is for people that opt into giving the data, and in exchange you get money from it. But we are doing stuff with privacy and anonymity to protect people as well. Yeah.
Great question.
Hi.
Is the differentiation if you wear a Whoop or if you just use your smartphone, because it's probably very different data? So do you earn more points for like a better wearable that you already have, or is everything?
Yeah, so right now, it's a good question. Right now, we sort of fill in columns. Like, imagine you have a database, and like your rows are the people and columns are the different attributes. And sleep score is generated by, we don't differentiate in how the sleep score is generated. I think down the road, we probably will give more points for higher accuracy data sets, or for data points. And we don't do it now, but it's definitely something that we should look into. And we try and normalize the score, so like different people can compete, because not everyone's going to have the same device ever. So you have to be sort of multimodal, and so it works on Android, iOS, and like how HealthKit and Health Connect integrate, or Aura. There's so many variations and combinations that happen, and permutation. It kind of becomes untenable. So I think we're trying to start with like the simple thing, and then build into like more complicated attributions later on.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
One more question: when do you expect the first payouts to users?
We actually did a payout yesterday, where people basically earned points based on how much they contributed, and then we did sort of a distributed payout based on that. And we did that literally yesterday, just based on sort of a who contributed what system.
Cool.
Yeah.
Amazing. Any other questions for Mikey? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so I see like there's two like value prop, I guess. One is you get paid for contributing data, and second one is you understand more about your sleeping patterns, and then you have better health and all the other
Yeah.
things. Which of these are people like responding positively towards?
I would say the second one. I think people are more interested in earning than they are in their own personal health. I think that's probably because of the demographic we hit. I think we were looking to sort of flip that a little bit more into people that are more intrinsically interested in their own health. But I think it's just different. I think some people have different needs. Like maybe if you need to eat now, you don't care about your like long-term health. But if you're like sufficient now, and you don't need to make money, and you care more about your long-term health, I think it just depends on the type of person. But I think the first thing we're noticing is like people are more interested in the data, in the rewards from the data. But we're sort of moving, and I think this is dependent on the business model. So people who pay like Aura and Whoop are more interested in probably their health data, but people who get paid are probably more interested in the money.
Sorry, one more question.
Yeah.
So, from your perspective, does the age of a person affect the quality of data you guys want? Like, do you want data from a 5-year-old versus a 4-year-old, or does it matter?
Totally. I mean, age is very dependent on sleep patterns. Like people's circadian rhythm shortens as they age, and like their eating patterns and health patterns and like are all very dependent on age. So you want to get as broad of a data set as possible, because these things, I think there's a lot of biobanks out there, and they're sort of like the UK Biobank is a biobank that has like 1 million people, but all the people are like 65 years old. And like, that's just not useful for the types of research, for a lot of the types of research that I can imagine people would want to do. So if you could get all ages, all ethnicities, all genders, and there's also a lot of these biobanks are basically like Caucasian people. And I think this thing gives it a chance to like spread it out to like other types of people as well.
Super. Any other questions? By the way, sorry for our chief marketing officer. Hope it's not too distracting.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions from anyone? Yeah, you can go.
How do you verify that data, provided data is not fake?
Yeah, it's a good question, and we have a lot of heuristics that we're doing. I'd say the first thing I'd say is like the status quo is oftentimes worse than you would imagine. So for even like an FDA clinical trial, a lot of people like you're paid to participate in this. So what happens is people basically take the money and don't take the drug or something equivalent to that. So that's sort of the bar or the gold standard, and that happens quite a bit. But we have ways of using heuristics and whitelisting people onto the platform that we can use down the road if that becomes a problem. I think so far we haven't really we've seen it abuse in some areas for sure, but for like the core part of it, we haven't seen abuse. And if it does happen, I think we'll take proactive steps to prevent it. But it is something to be wary about in any scientific venture. You just have to be careful about it. And I think if we are not able to solve the problem, we can sort of punt on it and say like, here's the results of our research. Here's the wallet. Here's the cryptographic hash of where it came from. It's now up to you to verify if this is a real person or if this person was faking it. And so I think you'll get develop. What will eventually happen is like a rating system will develop around each person, or sort of like a credit score on how trustworthy this data point, this data source is, and people will be able to like infer on their own if they should trust a data point or not. I think we'll try and do it as best we can, but then eventually, I bet there will be like other types of services that can do it.
Follow-up question? All good? Yeah, of course you can.
So, yeah, thanks. So may I ask that how many people have joined your program, and are there any different different characteristics between the geolocations, like America, Asia?
Yeah, we have a lot of people in Asia that are using it. I mean, people are interested in the sleep to earn aspect of it. And I haven't looked at the distribution yet. I mean, there's so many questions you can ask of this data set that I've only asked a very, very small portion of them. And but I think what we're trying to do down the road is open up the data set to other people and allow you to like pay money and ask questions and then get answers and give the money to people.
Great. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Do you expect to expand to other fields in the future?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, for example, like in medical research, there's usually like they require some precondition.
Yeah.
Also, interview or having like see like your medical history, check your medical history before, like, and then they pay a lot of price for you to participate in that like research survey. So I wonder, is that something you're going to tackle in the future?
Totally, yeah. We want to go into other fields, and I think like inclusion exclusion criteria around clinical trials is super important. And we could have a question or something. We don't do that now, but we could have a question like we ask things like basic, like how old are you, your gender, and like things like that. But we could ask like, do you have some issue that you're having? And that could be an inclusion or exclusion criteria for something.
Yeah, so also like sometimes the researchers, they want to interview the participants. Like, will you have those kind of features?
We could, yeah. We could definitely. Not yet. Yeah.
Thank you, Jake. Oh, okay. Any other questions? Too many questions. No more questions? Okay. Uko has a question. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Mikey. Inviting everyone to get a drink. Stick around, grab a bear, grab a bite with us. And for people online, thank you for tuning in. And see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, of course.
Thank you for sharing.